September 29th, 1998. A rookie cop shows up late to his first day of work. By sunrise, he would be one of just a handful of survivors of the worst bioterrorism disaster in American history. His name is Leon Kennedy, and for him, that nightmare was just the beginning. Leon Scott Kennedy is an Italian-American federal agent currently employed by the Division of Security Operations, a counterterrorism unit that answers directly to the President of the United States. Leon's unlikely career started on September 29th, 1998, the Racoon City incident. Leon was on his way to work, his first day as a rookie cop in the Racoon Police Department. He stopped briefly at a gas station where everything began to go wrong. Leon encountered a young woman named Claire Redfield and a horde of walking dead. What they were encountering was a mass outbreak of the T-virus manufactured by the global pharmaceutical conglomerate Umbrella. Leon and Claire quickly escaped toward Racoon City, where their hopes for safety in numbers were shattered. After a semi collided with their vehicle, the two were separated, leaving Leon to continue toward the police station alone. The station itself was overrun with zombies. Upon arriving, Leon witnessed a police rescue helicopter crash into the side of the building, causing a fiery explosion and attracting the attention of something much worse than zombies. A bioweapon called T-103, or Tyrant. A mutated human forcibly turned into a massive hulking death machine. Leon became one of its immediate targets thanks to his proximity to the crash. Later, in an underground sewage facility, he encountered William Birkin, an Umbrella researcher who had secretly manufactured something called the G-virus before infecting himself with it. The G-virus caused rapid and violent mutations, creating a powerful creature who could even spawn others like it. Where an entire Umbrella blackout team failed, Leon succeeded, evading and outsmarting Birkin and his offspring time and time again. He later encounters a woman named Ada Wong who claims to work for the FBI and is searching for a reporter with information pertaining to the outbreak. While unable to save the reporter, Leon finds evidence of Umbrella's involvement in secret research and development of the G-virus, eventually uncovering the truth behind the outbreak and its causes. As the night continued, Leon escaped from a massive mutated alligator in the sewers, survived a gunshot wound, and discovered a hidden research laboratory deep beneath Racoon City. After defeating the mutated William Birkin, creator and eventual host of the G-virus, and exposing the truth behind Ada Wong's secret mission to obtain it, Leon faced off with the heavily mutated Tyrant one final time. He reunited with Claire Redfield and boarded an underground train to escape the collapsing research lab, where Leon bravely and selflessly fought to keep the monstrous William Birkin at bay long enough for Claire to disconnect the train's rear car. Leon didn't survive that night by luck alone, but by his strength, compassion, and drive to help others. He walked into a city where virtually no one survived and managed to make it out alive. Kennedy was apprehended by the United States Army, who were stationed outside of the city. The cold reality was that the government knew about Umbrella, having agreed to purchase bioweapons from them. Leon was interrogated by future President Adam Bennett and was deemed to know too much about the Racoon City incident and the US government's connections to Umbrella. His skills sparked the military's interest, however. The government recognized that the playing field had changed, that the existence of bioweapons would soon come into the public light one way or another. Leon was recruited into a special anti-Umbrella agency that was quickly formed after the Racoon incident. In 2002, a significant American anti-bioweapon operation would see Leon's skills put to the test in South America. Javier Hidalgo was a South American drug lord who controlled a cartel known as the Sacred Snakes. The local government was unable to oppose him due to his massive quantities of wealth and resources. He used this wealth to build a hydroelectric dam, generating a considerable amount of electricity which he shared with the region. Secretly, he also used the generated power on his own bioweapon experiments. Javier was known for being compassionate and kind to those who were loyal to him, and uncommonly cruel to any who refused his commands. When the US learned that Javier had been in contact with a former Umbrella researcher and had possibly procured bioweapons, he became the target of a joint operation. Leon Kennedy of Stratcom joined with Jack Krauser of SOCOM, and the two would infiltrate Javier's residence at the top of the dam, dismantling any bioweapon operations. Leon and Krauser arrive at a nearby village to meet their local guide. Instead, they found the small community overrun with bioweapons. The T-virus had already spread through the area, turning the peaceful waterside village into a BOW war zone. They encountered a young girl named Manuela Hidalgo, Javier's daughter. With their original guide now dead, Manuela agreed to lead them through the dangerous jungle terrain toward her father's compound. Along the way, she revealed a disturbing truth. She had been infected with the T. Veronica virus. Javier had administered the virus to Manuela in a desperate attempt to save her from a terminal illness that claimed her mother, Hilda. The T. Veronica virus was keeping her alive, but at a terrible cost. The drug lord had transformed his territory into a bioweapons testing ground. When Leon and Krauser reached the mansion, they learned the horrifying truth behind Manuela's ability to survive the T. Veronica virus. For 15 years, Javier had kidnapped young girls from the region and harvested their organs, transplanting them into Manuela to reduce her suffering and to prevent the T. Veronica virus from mutating out of control. Krauser's left arm is wounded in a battle with a large BOW. The agents managed to defeat the mutated creature, and only then did they learn that this beast had once been Hilda Hidalgo, Manuela's mother and Javier's former wife. She was transformed beyond recognition by a severe overdose of the T. Veronica virus. Driven to madness by his daughter's betrayal and his increasing obsession with power, Javier Hidalgo made one last desperate move. He merged himself with a plant infected with the T. Veronica virus, becoming a creature called the V-complex. A creature so dangerous, it could potentially contaminate 60% of the Amazon rainforest in just 2 days. As Leon and Krauser battle the transformed Javier, Manuela uses her own infected blood, flammable as a side effect of the T. Veronica virus, as a weapon. Thanks to her help, the agents are able to defeat the V-complex. For Leon, this mission reinforced everything that made him an exceptional agent: his tactical brilliance in combat, his ability to remain calm under impossible pressure, his quick thinking when it comes to facing unprecedented threats, and most importantly, his unwavering commitment to protecting the innocent, even when those innocents, like Manuela, exist in morally complex circumstances. For Krauser, however, it came at a terrible cost. His injured arm would eventually lead to his discharge from active duty. This physical wound, combined with the psychological impact of working alongside Leon, who operated under secret orders from the president, planted seeds of resentment in Krauser's mind. He felt left in the dark, a soon-to-be-replaced cog in the machine. Realizing that ordinary human soldiers would likely be replaced with the seemingly unstoppable bioweapons, he began to fixate on the power that these viruses could provide. Operation Javier demonstrated that Leon had fully transformed from a rookie cop into a world-class government agent, capable of handling the most dangerous bioterrorism threats on the planet. But his most difficult trial was yet to come. 6 years after Racoon City, Leon Kennedy was assigned his most sensitive mission yet: rescue Ashley Graham, the president's daughter, kidnapped and taken to a remote region of Spain. Leon arrived in the rural village of Valdelobos with 2 local police officers. Within minutes, it was clear something was wrong. The villagers weren't just hostile, they fought with unnatural strength, ignored pain, and killed without hesitation. One officer vanished, the other was burned alive in a public ritual. Leon fought desperately against the new threat, finding himself nearly outmatched by the bloodthirsty and coordinated tactics of the villagers. This was no virus, it was something new. The villagers were infected with Las Plagas, a parasitic organism controlled by a cult known as Los Illuminados, the Enlightened Ones. Unlike zombies, these infected, called ganados, retained their intelligence and their cognitive function. They were somehow under the influence of the leader of the Illuminados, and they seemed to be controlled like a hive mind. Before long, Leon was captured and injected with the plaga himself. He was temporarily imprisoned with a man named Luis Serra, a former Umbrella researcher who claimed to know how to stop the parasite now implanted in Leon. Together, they escaped, and Serra hinted Ashley Graham was being held in a nearby church. While he searched for her, Leon encountered more hordes of villagers wielding axes, torches, pitchforks, and even chainsaws. He fought an enormous mutated beast called Del Lago that nearly pulled him beneath the surface of a murky lake, and he stood down El Gigante, a grotesquely transformed human the size of a house. Perhaps worse were the various stages of mutated plaga parasite that Leon witnessed: the guadaña, the mandibula, and the araña. When the host was in terminal danger, the plagas parasite would forcibly mutate to ensure its survival. Leon knew this was the fate that awaited him if he couldn't remove the parasite. Even so, he still put the mission first. Eventually, he reached the old church where Ashley Graham was rumored to be held. While he did indeed find her, getting out was another matter entirely. She was also infected with a parasite, and the longer these parasites stayed in their bodies, the more susceptible they were to the influence of the cult. The two were pursued by waves of ganados and hunted by a towering village priest called Father Mendez. Eventually, Leon and Ashley reached a massive stone castle, home to Ramon Salazar, a twisted aristocrat loyal to the cult's leader, Osmond Sadler. Ashley was taken again, this time deeper into the castle, while the parasites inside of her and Leon continued to mature and grow stronger. Leon moved forward, facing sadistic cultists, parasitic beasts, and mutated horrors. He survived encounters with camouflaged insects known as novistadors, and a near unstoppable creature called a verdugo. With help from Louise, Leon acquired a suppressant to slow the parasite's growth, but Jack Krauser, the very man Leon once fought beside in Operation Javier, was there in the castle on a mission of his own. Now working for Albert Wesker, Krauser killed Louise and confronted his old partner. He was after a variant of the plaga parasite called the dominant species. Someone infected with a dominant parasite could retain their willpower and control others who were infected with the normal parasites. At this point, Wesker was heavily involved in the shadowy bioterrorism market, following in the footsteps of Umbrella. Leon knew if he got his hands on a sample of the dominant species, the consequences could be immeasurable. Krauser and Kennedy clashed in brutal hand-to-hand combat, with Jack eventually transforming, revealing that he had infected himself with the dominant species specimen he was supposed to bring to his employer. Someone infected with the dominant species could mutate their parasite at will, and Krauser did just that. Leon Kennedy proved once again that humanity was still stronger than any twisted form of short-term evolution. He killed Krauser, putting a stop to an entirely new bioterrorism vector before it ever began. The agent eventually caught up to Salazar, who was also host to one of the dominant species and transformed into a monstrous creature. Leon defeated him in a violent showdown and pressed onward to a fortified island where Ashley was being held. Leon encountered regenerators, lab-grown bioweapons capable of regenerating limbs and shrugging off damage. They were said to be dangerous even to their creators and were kept in cold storage when not needed. Using a thermal scope, Leon was able to identify and destroy the multiple parasites inside of their bodies, stopping their regeneration and putting them down for good. Leon was able to reunite with Ashley thanks to the assistance of Ada Wong, the mysterious woman from Raccoon City, who was here working as a mercenary and also seeking a sample of the dominant species. Leon and Ashley reached Louise's former laboratory and used its equipment to remove the plaga parasites from their bodies. They were finally free of the Los Illuminados influence. In a final confrontation, Leon faced a fully mutated Sadler, but with Ada's support and his own unshakable resolve, he ended the Los Illuminados threat for good. Ashley Graham was brought home safe, and the mission was complete. By 2004, Leon Scott Kennedy had proven himself to be one of the world's most effective agents against bioterrorism. From a green rookie cop stumbling into hell on his first day, to a battle-hardened government operative capable of surviving impossible odds, Leon had come a long way, but his story wasn't finished yet. The sample of the dominant plagas that Ada Wong escaped with wouldn't stay buried for long. And there were still many bioterrorism threats that had yet to reveal themselves to the world. Stay tuned for the Leon Files Part B, because Leon's nightmare is far from over. Thanks for watching the video until the end. If you enjoy this type of documentary-style content, please consider subscribing to the channel, leave a like on the video, and add a comment below with your thoughts. And thanks again.